I drove 300 miles from where we were. New city, new apartment, new blur of streets that didn't know your name at all. I thought the distance would become a wall between me before and after you. But miles don't erase the residue of someone who has lived inside your chest. The miles just gave me more space to feel the rest. 300 miles and you're still in the room. Distance is just love that hasn't found its tune. Miles of you behind me on the road. Miles of you inside every mile I've owed. Miles of new streets, new skies, new everything. But miles of you beneath it all still ring. I brought you with me tucked inside my chest. Miles of you survive and move the rest. The new address, the new beginning. Miles of you still winning. I found a coffee shop that felt like ours, in a city you've never seen. Spent hours sitting in the corner we would have claimed if somehow this had been a city named for us. I thought of you and felt a warmth, not painful, just familiar, like the North Star that stays regardless of the miles. You showed up in a stranger's coffee smile. Miles of you behind me on the road. Miles of you inside every mile I've owed. Miles of new streets, new skies, new everything. But miles of you beneath it all still ring. I brought you with me tucked inside my chest. Miles of you survive the move, the rest. The new address, the new beginning. Miles of you still winning. Don't move love, they just stretch it until it's thin enough to see through, but it's still there. Miles of you. Before you knew what you were to someone else, before the others, I had loved you myself. In the quiet way that first times always go, completely without asking you to know. I loved you in the margins of the year, in the hallways and the almost theirs, in the borrowed things and folded notes unsent, in the version of myself that went all in before I knew what all in meant. I loved you first, completely, and then went. I loved you first, before the world knew your you first. I loved you first. They say you never forget your first, and I agree. Not because it lasted, it just made me see the shape of what I wanted from the world. The safety and the softness and the curled warmth of being seen before you're fully grown. I loved you first, and from that love alone I learned what I was capable of giving, and I've been giving it to every living. I loved you first, before the world knew your name. I loved you first, in a hallway in the rain. I loved you first, in a paper heart, a borrowed song. I loved you first, and quietly all along. No one will know, and you will never read this line, but I loved you first, and first means you were mine, in the only way that really counts. I loved you first. I loved you first. I loved you first. 14 years old, in a hallway on a Tuesday, with a paper heart in my pocket, under the last school bell, in the borrowed summer, in the first rain. I loved you first, and that was enough. That was everything. I just want one more afternoon of ordinary. Nothing grand, nothing that we'd have to carry. Just the coffee shop with rain against the glass, and you explaining something. Let it last. Just once more, let me hear the way you talk, when you forget that I'm in love, and walk right through a sentence like the world is fine, and you are mine, and I am yours in time. I don't need the grand or the forever. Just once more, just the ordinary weather. Just once more, across the table from you. Just once more, nothing we have to get through. Just once more, the laugh, the coffee, the rain. Just once more, before I let go of the pain. One more Tuesday, one more ordinary light, one more you existing in my sight. Just once more, I won't ask for again. Just once more, and then I know it isn't healthy wanting back what already ran its natural track, but grief doesn't always follow reason's map. It folds you into once more like a trap that feels like comfort, soft and lit with gold. The version of the story I can hold, where nothing ends and you just sit across I forget that this is what I've lost. Just once more across the table from you. Just once more, nothing we have to get through. Just once more, the laugh, the coffee, the rain. Just once more before I let go. Again, just once more, and then I'll let you go. I promise. Just once more. The rain, the coffee, your voice, and then I'll let you go. The space you left beside me on the bench is louder than the crowd and all its wrench. I sit and feel the gap where you would be, a missing shape that only I can see. The space you left in group photos cut me one head fewer and incomplete collection of a summer everyone else has moved on from except myself. The space you left has edges, I know each one, the exact dimensions of what you were done. The space you left, it breathes, it takes up room the way your presence grieves. The space you left beside me in between the lines of every sentence, every dream. You're not here, but your absence fills the frame. The space you left knows your exact outline shape, and I keep bumping into it in every room. The space you left became my room. I rearranged the furniture one spring to stop my body reaching for the thing that wasn't there. The space beside the lamp where you would sit and read beneath the damp light of autumn evenings going gray. It helped a little move the space away, but space is patient, it just found a new corner of the room to be missing you. The space you left, it breathes, it takes up room the way your presence grieves. The space you left beside me in between the lines of every sentence, every dream. keep bumping into it in every room. The space you left became my room. I was younger before I loved and lost, before I learned what every feeling costs, before my eyes knew how to read a room, for exits and for people leaving soon. I used to walk into a space and trust that warmth was warmth and kindness wasn't just a strategy. I used to feel it clean before the first love and the in-between. First love doesn't just break you, it ages you into someone newer and more caged too. I was younger than this before you, before the ache I never quite see through. Younger in the way that easy is, before you learn that easy isn't his or hers or yours. It's borrowed at its best. I was younger than this. I had more rest in my chest before the first love made me old, before I knew how much a heart could hold. My friends at school thought I had changed that fall, said I was quieter, more careful, tall, in a way that wasn't height but something pressed behind my eyes and lodged inside my chest. I smiled and said I'm fine, I've just grown up. And that was true, I had lost the cup of carelessness that you had handed back the day you left, and love learned to subtract. I was younger than this before you, before the ache I never quite see through. Younger in the way that easy is, before you learn that easy isn't his or hers or yours. It's borrowed at its best. I was younger than this. I had more rest in my chest before the first love made me old, before I knew how much a heart could hold. I'm older now, really older, and I can look back and say thank you for the wisdom, even if it came at the cost of being younger than this. You fell asleep before the movie ended, your head at an angle, slightly bended toward the armrest, soft and unaware. And I just watched you breathe the quiet air While you slept, I loved you differently. Not the nervous love of being seen by me, but the honest kind, the love that has no guard, that only comes when everything is starred. Sleeping people show you who they really are, and who you really are to them so far. While you slept, I memorized your face, the eyelash on your cheek, the resting grace. While you slept, I felt the deepest I had fallen, in the quiet of a love that's not yet spoken. While you slept, I made 1,000 vows that morning came and took without a sound. While you slept, I loved you more than I ever said aloud. You woke up slowly, said sorry, I drifted, and everything I'd felt just quietly lifted back into the careful space between us two, where I kept my love from being true. I said it's fine and handed you your drink, and we went back to the edge of the brink of something we both sensed but wouldn't name. While you slept was never quite the same. While you slept, I memorized your face, the eyelash on your cheek, the resting grace. While you slept, I felt the deepest I had fallen, in the quiet of a love that's not yet spoken. While you slept, I made 1,000 vows that morning came and took without a sound. While you slept, I loved you more than I ever said aloud. I didn't know what home felt like in a person until you sat beside me, and the version of myself I carried loud and careful felt quiet in a way I couldn't tell. You didn't do a thing except exist, and something in the room just shifted. I exhaled a breath I'd held for years. In your presence I forgot my fears. Home isn't always four walls and a floor. Sometimes home is a person you adore. You fit like home, the easy kind, the kind that quiets every worried mind. You fit like home, no trying, just there, like belonging was a thing we'd always share. When you left, I learned what homeless means inside a chest that used to know such peace. You fit like home, and leaving you was losing every room I'd ever known. Been in other rooms and other arms since then, and some of them were good and warm. And when I close my eyes, I'm grateful for the warmth, but none of them have had your kind of north. The specific calm of being next to you, the silence that felt like something true. I've built new homes and learned to love them well, but you were the first home. I won't pretend I can't tell. You fit like home, the easy kind, the kind that quiets every word used to know such peace. You fit like home, and leaving you is losing every room I'd ever known. You didn't say goodbye, you went quiet instead. And quiet has a volume all its own in my head. The unreturned text, the call that rang out dry, nothing louder than a love that doesn't reply. I checked my phone the way the drowning checks for air, refreshed and waited, but you just weren't there. And absence has a sound, I've learned that now. It sounds like everything we couldn't allow. You could have screamed it, I'd have healed from the scream. Silence is the cruelest thing I've ever seen. Louder than goodbye, your silence, louder than a fight, your quiet compliance, louder than the door, the way it never slammed, louder than the end, just nothing where you'd land. Goodbye I could've lived with, goodbye has a shape, but your silence had no edges and no escape. Louder than goodbye was you saying nothing at all. I practiced what I'd say if you came back, rehearsed the calm, rehearsed the slack in my voice, then I'm fine, I'm whole. But you never came to test the role. And all those practice lines just stayed inside an audition for a play without a guide. I played both parts alone in my own room, your silence and my answers in the gloom. Louder than goodbye, your silence, louder than a fight, your quiet compliance, louder than the door, the way it never slammed, louder than the end, just nothing where you'd land. Goodbye I could've lived with, goodbye has a shape, but your silence had no edges and no escape. Louder than goodbye was you saying nothing at all. You said maybe like it was a promise, said maybe like I wasn't meant to notice, that maybe has an exit built right in the door that love keeps knocking, can't get in. I held that maybe for an entire spring, turned it over like a delicate thing. Maybe you'll come back, maybe you'll call, maybe it was my everything and all. Maybe is the cruelest word in love. It's just enough to never be enough. The last maybe you gave me, I kept it too long. The last maybe became the whole of this song. I watered it, I watched it, I waited in the hall. The last maybe that bloomed bloomed and then let fall. Every petal in a season built on. If the last maybe was a beautiful cliff that I stood on far too long, waiting for you to turn maybe into yes. The day you said no, actually no, I cried. Not because of no, but the maybes that lied. All those months of maybe felt so real. I forgot that maybe doesn't have to feel like anything. It's just a word in air, a placeholder for someone who's not there. I built a house on maybe, watched it fall. The last maybe took the house and all. The last maybe you gave me, I kept it too long. The last maybe became the whole of this song. I watered it, I watched it, I waited in the hall. The last maybe that bloomed and then let fall. Every petal in a season built on. If the last maybe was a beautiful cliff that I stood on far too long, waiting for you to turn maybe into yes. No more maybes, I learned that from you. No more living in the in-between. No more holding something that was never mine to keep. You were my last maybe, and you taught me how to need a yes. I stood at the window and I watched you go. Your car backed out in the morning glow. And every second was a door being closed on a love that nobody ever proposed. I memorized the color of your taillights red, the way the street just swallowed where you'd led. I didn't run, I didn't call your name, I just watched you leave and felt the same. Watching is its own kind of undone. When you love someone who's already gone. I watched you leave and I let you. I watched you leave and I couldn't get through the glass between me and the thing I should have said. I watched you leave from inside my own head. Feet planted, hands pressed to the frame. I watched you leave and I'm still at that pain. Still watching the corner where your taillights disappeared. I watched you leave and I've been there for years. I think if I had knocked the glass just once, you might have stopped, maybe not just once. A hand against the window, one last look, enough to change the ending of the book. But I stayed still the way that fear stays still, the way that love without a voice goes still. And now the window's just a window pane, and I am just a girl who watched the rain. I watched you leave and I let you. I watched you leave and I couldn't get through the glass between me and the thing I should have said. I watched you leave from inside my own head. Feet planted, hands pressed to the frame. I watched you leave, and I'm still at that pain. Still watching the corner where your taillights disappear.